Yo, assalamu alaikum. This is the KIK representing the Pro Bump Society. I'm here with my good friend, homie, Keevin Muhammad, aka DJ Khaaliq.
Blackness, microphones get fractured. Dalai Lama, I'm a black nationalist. Savage with the wordplay, still respect the gift. Civilized.
I apologize about that. Somebody was calling. All right. So this is Keevin Muhammad, aka DJ Khaaliq. And as a disclaimer, just got to put this out there. I've been friends with Keevin since 1993. And we used to be roommates for 10 years. So I just want to put that out there just as a disclaimer and stuff like that.
And it has not been a pleasure.
It's always a pleasure. All right. Keevin, you've been DJing for how many years now?
That's a professional 30 years this year. That's professional. 91.
And when you brought your first pair of Technique turntables, how much did it cost?
The price of them at that time was about $200 a piece, but I ain't buy mine. I kind of found one. And I was donated the other one. So, and both of them had to fix before I got them. So at that time, though, they was running about $250 a piece at that time.
$250. What they cost now?
Do people know what a Technique 1200 is?
Explain to them what a Technique 1200 is.
For those that don't know, Techniques is a company that made professional level turntables at the time when we still had the vinyl. So it was the actual turntable. It was the best turntable in the world at that time.
And the price was?
About $250 at that time. But mine, I found mine.
What they running now?
About $599, like $650 now. But they done upgraded them a little bit and all that. They digital and all that now.
So when did you know that like you wanted to start DJing? Did like you start playing around the house with DJs or DJing house parties for your friends or what?
Well, at that time everybody had records in their house, so just around the house. But Shaka Khan, what's the name of the video? Shaka Khan video and Lisa. Something to wonder if you take me home. That record had a DJ in it. The video had a DJ in it. So when I first said DJ, I was like, that's something interesting. And my mom bought me a stereo, and my aunt bought me a record, and I just started scratching with it, but just for fun. I didn't think I'd be a professional. Like that.
So when did you say, I want to do this?
Probably around me, Yaya, and Tret. We had started up. We had our little group. We thought we was gonna be running MC, and I wanted to be like a stage DJ behind an artist or something like that. I wanted to be a show DJ. I didn't want to be a party club DJ. So that was around probably like 80. When I got into music, probably like 88, 89, seriously.
So when did DJ Khaaliq, or I should say Khaaliq Productions, start to take off with you, Hussein, Tret, Yaya, Gary, God XL?
See, all them was later. It was me and Gary at first.
Oh, okay.
It was me.
All right,
me and Gary, Tret, and Hussein were in the military at that time. It was around 91. And me and Gary, I met Gary. I don't remember how I met Gary, but we was into the music. He knew somebody that I knew, and so we started Khaaliq Productions with me, him, and Rory. Tret and Hussein was still in the military, so they wasn't back yet. Yaya was fumbling between school and the streets a little bit. so it wasn't a thing at first, but then it started me and Gary. Then Rory was brought in because me and Rory used to be together at the time. He was rapping, and then Yaya, then when Tret and Hussein got home, that's when but that was all around. Between 91, me and Gary bought the keyboard and all that, that was 91.
Now, I don't know if this is true, but I heard as a folk legend, hood tell, that you were the first one in the hood to sample, to have a sampler.
No. Hitman had a sampler. He had a MPC. It was 2 MPCs in time. And I was the only one that was sampling for hip hop.
Oh, okay.
They was making house music. So yeah, I had a first like hip hop dedicated studio. They had studios out here for house music. The R&B cats, some of the older cats had R&B groups, Devon and all that. And then we had a lot of people was making house music at that time. So I wasn't the first one sampling. I was the first one sampling specifically for hip hop though. But Mike and Hitman, he had an MPC 60 at that time. And first time I seen it, I was like, oh wow, because it was a thing at that time.
Okay. Now, when you started DJing, Name some of the clubs that you DJ'd at.
What really like?
Or what's the first club? What was the first club that like you got paid to DJ at, and then like you went from there?
The River's Edge, right across from the bank, not across from the bank, from the library on Benton. Okay. Way upstairs on the 3rd floor. Me and Gary hauling the equipment up there around 91, 2. Everything before that was really like basement parties, and then the weddings started taking off and all that. But we was just throwing parties to buy drum machines. We wasn't trying to throw parties. We just wanted to buy a drum machine or buy a keyboard, so we just started throwing the parties for that. But the first one, that was the River's Edge. It's gone. It's been gone. It was on Stoke, right across from the library.
Now we have to talk about the legendary run at Club New. I was gonna say this at this time at Club New. I think I was handling like phone calls or emails or something for you. Yeah. So we was like running around. This is how crazy it was. Keevin would he would cut hair. After you cut hair, we would catch a train to Harvey, walk like 6 miles, get the car, come back to Aurora and DJ, load the equipment, then take the equipment back out there. And so Club New, how did that start? And also, I just want to tell people, Club New, let's see, we have people coming from Texas, Florida, out of the country just to come to Club New. So tell us about Club New.
Tony Batoy and Cold Pepper and Hitman had started. It was 99, summer 99. They had started it, and so a few people they was back. It was bumping already. So Greg Phillips, I had went a couple times. Greg Phillips came in. He was like, "Man, you want to do Club New?" I'm like, "Yeah, Tony and Mike got it." And he was like, "Oh man, they fell out with the owners rule like this, and we got in a situation where we get it." So I called him. Thing I always do with the DJ. I called Cold Pepper. "What's up?" Cold Pepper told me the little, without telling their business what went on down there a little bit. I told him we got an opportunity. So that was like August going into September '99. So that's how we started. Then so Greg had it. We was doing. It still was like Tony crowd though. That's really what it bounced off of. Then Greg came and asked me. He said, "Man, you ever heard this DJ named Dollar Bill?" I'm like, "Yeah, he cold. I seen Bill twice. I seen him at Northern one time, and I seen him at the House of Blues. Like, man, bro can play." He said, "We got an opportunity." So it wound up being me and Bill. Then we added Rick Party at that time, and then we added Bulu. So Bill would play. So how we was doing, Bill would play first, Bulu would play the prime, then I would close it. Then next week I would open Bulu, then Bill would close it. So we had, but what I'm telling you, a lot of people don't know about Club, it wasn't really that long of a run.
No?
Everybody act like everybody think it was like 6, 7 years. It really was only hot about 7 months.
7 months.
Yeah.
That's a real icon right there, Club New. Oh.
There's only anything by the spring it was falling off, but it was so what made it legendary is people come from everywhere, and at that time it was how can I say it? It was the hottest spot around and it was in the suburbs, and that was kind of one of the first times that really happened for and it was a Friday night because they had the Spanish people had it on. Because you remember they had the little bull riding bull on, so the Spanish people had it on Saturday, so it was Friday night. But it was like Black Friday that year. We had like 2,200 people in there, so it was legendary. People, it's legendary. People still talk about it, still ask about it.
Now, you also want to talk about your run up in Chicago. If y'all don't know, back, I think this might have been during Club New or right after Club New, me and Keevin it would be me, Keevin, and probably like a couple more heads. We'll go to Chicago and do like almost 3 clubs in one night. But like the main club was a club called Club Excalibur, and like it looked like a castle. And like we started up in the basement, and then we came up and took the top floor from them. Tell them about that.
Here's what it is. It was Excalibur and Vision. So
Vision
side.
It was on the Vision side.
Excalibur side was, it was more like a, pop, top 40 type club. So we started like you said, we started off basement. Greg, that was Greg. Greg went and got the spot. Said, "Man, what'd you think about this?" I was already in the city. With Louis Lambert and them had the Plug magazine going on. So we had started already in the city, but Greg came, he was some of our visions, and so we would start doing that. then we would have to go to 2 or 3 clubs before and then end up in Vision. Because Vision, I ain't start playing till like 1:30, 2 o'clock. Well, I was closing it, so. But yeah, everybody had the time, suburban at the time. Everybody go deep. We go about 3 or 4 clubs. It was just bounce around. Everything was popping back then. Everything was popping.
Now I want to ask you about this. What made you move more away from producing hip hop to more into the DJ side of things?
You don't want to hear the answer to that.
All right.
Rappers.
What you mean, rappers?
Rappers like MCs. I had experience rappers. Like, it just became too much. And I was dedicated to not just the production side. I was dedicated to the business side, and just dealing with too many different people with too many different attitudes. It just became something I didn't want to do. So I love to do it just for the art of it, but trying to make it a business, it just wore me out. And just rappers, right? Rappers is hard to deal with. They all the best. They all the coldest ever did it. They all got attitudes. They all rappers, man. It's hard to deal with.
Cannot disagree with that. Now, also, I want to ask you about your different business ventures, because since you were a producer, a DJ, and a business owner with multiple businesses, can you tell us how you transition and how you keep the lanes open for your different businesses now?
Well, I was just like DJing. I've been cutting hair since I was shorty. I was like 15, 16. So it really ain't no transition. It's just a matter of putting it in the places that need to be and doing what you have to do to get it done. But it's like everybody think like starting a business is rocket science. It's not. That active everyday life is business. So whether you formulate it and put it into an organization to where you can make a profit from it or not, that's what determines business. Anybody can have clippers. Anybody can cut hair. But if you're a barber, that means you carry a professional standard. So anybody can cut grass. But once you become a lawn care expert, you have a certain standard. But it ain't no different than dude to cut grass. It's just he takes it to another level, and he makes it. He gets about his business. So it ain't no big deal. It's just they really hobbies. I started out DJing as a hobby. I started cutting hair as a hobby, and then turned into that. And then down the line, I got into the video stuff because I needed more YouTube presence around 2011. So I always had cameras. I had cameras in the 90s with old footage and stuff. So I learned how to edit it because I ain't had nobody else do it. Couldn't pay nobody to do it. So that took off with me and Mark and Jason and Steve. So I don't never wake up and say, I'm going to start this. It just happens.
So you're a professional barber, and you've been a professional barber for how many years?
32 this year.
And you're a professional DJ. You've been a professional DJ for how many years?
91, 30 years.
And you have a media company.
Yeah, we've been doing Impact. We've been doing that. It has Impact.
What y'all specialize in? When you say media company, like, break that down. Like, is that like camera work or videos, or is it like...
Impact was like, so our focus was business to business product, promotional tools.
Okay.
So we make videos, we would shoot your products like camera. So it was camera. And then we had the space, so we would throw events in the space. So it was just full-fledged. We did everything from, the only thing we wouldn't do was rap videos. Rap was a problem.
Oh my God.
We would do like legacy videos. If people want to they get their grandmother to tell their story. We would do like, if you had a product, we had a couple companies we working with. One lady she had her own baby carrier that she had designed herself. So she was one of our clients. We had, we'd do trade shows. He built them up, like, something like McCormick Place. He built a trade show. So we did shots, just show how he built everything up over a 4 or 5 day period. We had clients like that. Anything you was trying to show off, we would picture, we would do the audio, because I had the music, we would do the video, anything like that. So anything that
So that's all in the house. The audio, editing, like that's all in the house.
Everything's in the house. And if somebody passed away, you want to do a video, we do whatever. Like anything that encompasses video, photography, audio, we do. And what we couldn't do, we'd farm out sometimes. But I mean, it was easy. Like it's just like it's the activity of life. So you just start, just do your thing, and then once you decide you want to get good enough that you can charge for it, you start charging. Take care of your little business, whatever like this. You got a business. It ain't hard. It's not rocket science.
All right. Now I want to shift gears a little. In 1993, members of Pope Society met DJ Khaaliq, Gary, and Khaaliq Productions, right? And your religion is Islam, and you introduced poor bums to Islam, and then we became Muslims. So,
Did I?
oh my
I
God!
didn't know. I didn't wait till one
We
day.
was under Gary.
I didn't know that was a thing though.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I knew y'all before '93 though.
yeah.
I knew Cook. I knew Cook because he lived next door to my cousin.
Right.
So,
But you made our first beat for a talent show up in '93.
Yeah.
And then we spent the night, and then you broke down everything.
spend the night over there.
Yeah.
Y'all,
This is the
y'all don't
story.
be remembering all
This
this
is the
stuff.
story. Up in '90, I graduated in the East in '93, but there was a talent show that year. So me and Nikhil, we needed a beat, but we didn't have equipment. So we went to DJ Khaaliq, and he made the beat for us. And so he made the beat, and then that night he had broke down the actual facts of Islam, the student enrollment, the black man is the original man and stuff like that. So he had broke down the science and stuff like that. And then after that, we came around, and then he took us to the mosque, and then we became Muslims. So how much has
You gonna blame that on me though?
I ain't blaming on you. I'm giving you credit. I'm giving you credit.
So now your uncle that don't like you being a Muslim come looking for me. You know what
I'm just saying.
I don't
Whole family gonna be after you. No, I'm
just be
joking.
talking, man. I don't be trying to convert people. No, I just people ask me something I talk.
So, how much has Islam played an influence in how you do business with people, how you see the world, and how you
everything.
maneuver and stuff?
Everything. So my partner with the shop flag, me and him talk a lot, and a lot of things, not to be pointing out. I don't. So when I work with him, I selected him as a person because he got a lot of gifts and qualities that are good for business. So a lot of times we have a little wrestle back and forth, and I tell him a lot of times, I have to explain, a lot of times, a lot of stuff I do under that flag because what Khaaliq means is a creator, it's one who creates something out of nothing. So a lot of things, I can't just throw a stripper party, stuff. So and that's not that he makes suggestions like that, but a lot of that influences the way I do business with a lot of things. I just really believe, in sales, I don't believe you have to hide the product and say this. You got a fair price, fair product, you can sell it. You don't have to trick people to sell stuff like that. And all that's influences. You don't have to do bad business to do business. You can just tell a person, this is my product, this is what I got to sell it for. They buy it or they don't. Period. But I don't think you have to trick people and tell them, this can do it, and all these little tactics that a lot of people use. I don't believe you have to do that, but that's a direct influence to answer your question. That's a direct influence of Islam. The name Khaaliq that's one of the 99 attributes of God. That's a part of the influence. So it's a lot of Islamic influence in everything I do. There's just certain things you just can't do under that flag. Period.
How long have you been a Muslim?
I don't know. You born that?
True.
How long have I been aware of the teachings since I was about?
How long have you been studying, I should say?
Probably since I was about 18 or 19, right when I got kicked out of high school, right around that time.
But you got kicked out of high school. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, what that mean?
I ain't know you got kicked out. Maybe I didn't know. What happened?
Yeah. How?
Do I want to know how?
I know.
I'm just saying.
Tell the story all the time. It wasn't my fault. They changed the rules in high school.
It wasn't your fault you got kicked out? Here we go.
So I wasn't a very good student as far as, I was mischievous and everything else. So I used to get suspended a lot. So when I was a senior, they changed the rules. You can only get suspended 5 times out of school, 4 times in school. So I used that up by December. So I had to, during the little Christmas break, I had to go to the little school, the student, whatever, downtown, had my little hearing, came back January, cleaned my locker out, it was over with. So it wasn't my fault, they should have changed the rule.
So that never stopped you from doing what you wanted to do in life, though?
No, man, that's... School is, depending on what you're doing, school is overrated. Depending on what you're doing, school is underrated. Nothing can stop a human being. That's one thing they teach you in Islam. You whatever you want to be, no matter what. You're the greatest thing God made next to himself. So nothing has power over you. Lack of school, lack of education, lack of money, lack of whatever. You can overcome any situation, period. You're born to overcome situation. So that's Islam. So, never. I just know when I was a young man, I just learned. I started realizing just I could work with my hands, and I was doing better than a lot of people that went to college. I was doing worse than a lot of people went to college. That don't stop nobody. And then, especially if you look at the music industry and entrepreneurs, a lot of them are not great students, or a lot of them. Russell Simmons dropped out with a couple weeks before he graduated from college. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that didn't stop nothing he did.
All right. Now the last question is music-wise, hip hop wise, who are you listening to, and who do you consider hot? Don't say Lupe Fiasco, because I know you're gonna go to Lupe, but don't say Lupe.
You asked me who I'm listening to right now.
Yeah.
New or period?
Period.
So I've been on AZ Project Tough for the last 2-3 months. I've been on J Electronica Tough for the last 2 or 3 months.
You like what he put out?
Who? J Electronica?
Yeah.
How could you not?
The album he put out, you like that?
How could you not?
Cause
see, y'all looking for the boom bap, man. That album don't do that.
I'm not looking for the boom bap, but dude, how can I say this? It's like you just expected something more magnificent from dude, because he
what?
Because he ain't put out nothing in like 600 years, and he always guest appearance. So you just wanted something a little more,
like the words.
Yeah. I mean, like
what else did he do?
Spit that, but I just thought it would be something more.
I'm gonna tell you something that a lot of people, if he wouldn't have dropped that album, Kanye wouldn't drop what he dropped.
You don't think so?
He wouldn't.
You like the Kanye album?
It's dope for what it is. It's super dope if you...
You said it's dope for what it is.
It's super dope.
What is it?
See, there you go. So I tell you what,
I'm not hating.
Tell you what my son told me about it.
Okay.
Ain't no beats on Kanye album.
Yeah, you're right.
So if you're looking for the beats, they ain't on there. But the man, anytime somebody can open up themselves the way he opened up, man, you can't beat him. He just, who that raw? He gonna rap, strip himself down. But back to J Electronica, back to J 444. Just strip yourself down and tell your truth. That's dope. There ain't nothing doper than that. You know, I mean, and you gotta take it that it's a Christian album. You gotta give it that. It is that. Okay. Whether he called it that or not, but it's just, we made a play. Okay. But it all, no matter what, it is what it is. But people look at the problem. This is what people don't understand about Kanye. Kanye is forever trying to do something that nobody ever did. And he do it all the time. But people looking for, man, we need a college dropout. He did that. He going next. He going moving forward. A lot of times people don't know how to move with you, so they look for what you used to do. He just don't do that. Well, it's dope. I'm on to J Electronica. God, man, you sleeping.
Who else you listening to?
I was going hard with AZ album. Nas the part 2 for it's dope. King's Disease, but I wasn't really hard on it like that. That's about it right now. Other than the regular rotation of old soul and all that, but an AZ album, I was on that hard.
Let me ask you about this. The Busta Rhymes album that he put out.
It's dope. But it was a good listen, but it didn't pull me in like that. I'm not listening to it over and over again like I was doing with AZ. Buster, it's dope.
Somebody else, Master Farad,
and somebody else just put an album like that. I'm listening to it. Who was it? So another album just came out that I was listening to. It was a good listen, but it just didn't draw me in like that. But I mean, Busta always had a teaching. That's leaders of new school. They always been 5%. They just tuck it up a little bit. J Electronica put out an album that's super spiritual. Now everybody can come out like that. Tell you, that man kicked the door in on that. Y'all sleeping on it. He kicked it. After he did that, you had a flood of them albums coming.
Yeah, sure.
That's it. Now anybody can say that's right. He opened up talking about the mothership. Now you can say what you want to say. So somebody else had to kick it in. He kicked it in. Now you got all the spiritual albums one after another. That's it. Y'all blame J Electronica. I don't see how you don't like that album. That album is raw.
I know what I want to ask you. What is one of the main things here in Aurora that keep, I don't know, black people, I don't want to say black people from supporting black businesses from, I guess, the main thing in Aurora that keeps black people divided and not supporting each other? Because I think if you go to any other place, it's like you don't have to tell Mexicans to support Mexicans or Greeks to support Greeks, but if black people open up a business, you almost have to beg them to come to the business. It's like it's not instilled in them. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the soft answer to that is, if you're talking in general worldwide or nationwide, what's that? That's slavery. If you're talking about specifically this town, how important are your rural followers to you? They might be upset with us.
Go ahead.
So worldwide, it's like this. So chief thing that you want to do, if you want to keep people in a certain position, you got 100 slaves on the plantation. And you got slave master, his wife, 2, 3 kids, and 3, 4 overseers. So you got 10 white people on the plantation, 100 black people. It's only one way that 10 can control 100, because without this one element, 5 of us could go, I'll just say this, you and 5 of y'all got a plan, and y'all gonna free the other 95 of us, right? Unless I go to the big house, hey boss, they coming. That's how, the only way 10 can control 100 is you keep them divided across all boards. Fully, strictly divided. That's the bit. So we got doctors, lawyers, scientists, we got millionaires, billionaires, we got everything we need. We lack unity. That's the chief problem. If you disunified, then you can't make nothing happen. So in generally speaking, the reason you don't have to tell an Italian to support an Italian business is because they have a unified niche. They have families, they got camaraderie, they do business together, do everything, because it's innate for people to do things with their own. They beat that out of us to make it so they can do what they did to us. They beat it out of us to be separate. So they taught us to be envious, jealous, hateful, light skin versus dark skin, old versus young, big versus little, straight versus gay. They taught us to bicker about anything.
Lynch.
That's in general. Specifically here, I'm in Detroit, Washington, D.C., Atlanta, of course, Oakland. You go to all over the country, you got black people, they got black businesses that have half the money we have, half the resources, but they got twice as many businesses because it's in them to support each other. What it is in those communities, the ground base for how we gonna work together, it was laid 3, 4, 5 generations ago. The problem here is everybody, except for the original small percentage of black people here, it's a lot of transients that came from other places. So that base wasn't there. But I was a shorty, everything on New York Street was black businesses. And we went and dealt with each other because we were a community.
Everything on New York Street?
From Farnsworth to what's called, yeah. Oh man, all the record stores, car wash, everything. They had record shops, everything was up and down there. Laundromat, it was all black. Barbershops, everything up and down the whole New York Street. Then we had the little restaurants, Sunny O's and all. But anyway, everything was all black. And then on the South Street was all the little nightclubs. That was the black nightlife. Broadway was the white nightlife. So yeah, but they were black businesses, black people went to them. But the division come in like, this is a town that's real envious and jealous of each other. It's people that be together every day, but they really hate each other. So it makes it a volatile relationship on any level. So when somebody got something going, club knew. Point. 2,000 people in a nightclub in Aurora. It's about 50 Aurora people in there. The other 200 Aurora people are parked up and down New York Street saying, oh man, you paying $10 to get in there. What? That's just, but that's the thing that makes it like that is it's the disunity. That's all it is. Just kind of grew up together, then get grown and start arguing about girls and stuff. It don't matter about nothing. That's what it is.
That's what's up.
But in the innate part, like when we were younger, we all sat together at the same lunch table. That's your nature. It's hard. It's hard to get that out your nature. Same thing with Spanish people. They don't actively support each other. They provide needs for each other. And naturally, if I can't speak a language, we speak the same language, I don't go over here when I can't speak English to this dude trying to buy his product. I see dude over here got a little truck I buy for him. We are one and the same. Mm-hmm. They see each other as one. They don't see each other as, oh, this dude from the West Side. They don't see each other like that.
Gotcha. All right. This is the KIK representing the Po Bump Society. This was 8 Illa View, number 5. I'm here with DJ Khaaliq. You got any last words you want to say?
I just want everybody to know I did this under protest.
You is an habitual hater.
I did this under protest. I did this under protest.
He did it because he wanted to be here and support. All right, so we want to say peace, and we're coming back to y'all soon, and support your local black businesses. And yeah, I guess that's it. All right. Peace.